This is why everyone is single and men stop trying. This is the mouse paradise, a scientific experiment from the 1960s. They made the perfect world for mice with unlimited food, safety, and no predators. In the beginning, they placed 4 females and 4 males and let them multiply. The population exploded, hundreds, then thousands. Then something strange happened. They stopped mating. And within 4 years, they were extinct. But why? According to scientists, the reason was social interaction overload. Just like humans on social media today. They were in 24/7 interaction with thousands of others. Too much stimulation, too much competition for social status, and this led them to lose the ability to form bonds, to mate and raise their young. Many males became so-called the beautiful ones. They lost interest in females. They just groomed themselves all day and withdrew completely because they could not compete in this chaos anymore. And the females followed by losing interest in males. So no mating, and they all just died without having babies. Since 2010 smartphones, humans are living the same social interaction overload. 24/7 status competition, income and lifestyle comparison with thousands of others, physical looks to impossible standards. And many young people just choose to withdraw. For the first time in history, young people are having less sex than their parents. 30% of men under 30 had no sex for a year. Loneliness epidemic hits us harder than any virus could. You know, the mice couldn't turn this off, but you can.
This is actually getting scary. And this is just what I've been seeing, more frequently now more than ever. A lot of men from young teenagers, right? This is the scary part. From young teens all the way up into older men. Men are burnt out. Men are seriously burnt out from society. They are burnt out from everything. They're burnt out from the pointless 9-to-5 jobs, the endless, right, void of emptiness of the 9-to-5 job, right? Or just trying to get ahead, relationships, dating, marriages, right? Just on and on and on. Men are burnt out. Men have nowhere to turn to be honest with you, right? There's really no leaders, right, in today's day and age to really point men in the right direction and tell them, hey, this is the route that you can go. This is the route that you can go. Well, besides the after pill, but even that route, many men don't want to take because men are still stuck, right? Many men are burnt out because guess what? They are still trying to operate in the old programming, right, in a new system. You can't run that code in the new system. It just doesn't work anymore. Guess what? Jobs are changing. Women have drastically changed. Marriages have changed. Dating and relationships has changed. Hypergamy is on a whole nother level now. Everything has changed. You cannot operate with the same code, right? And many men have not updated their operating code, therefore getting stuck, not being able to operate in the new system. What do I keep telling you? This is the new system. Welcome to the new system. Welcome to the new world, right? But so many men are still not seeing that they should be updating their operating code. Therefore, they're still getting stuck. And guess what? This is the most important thing right here that you need to hear right here. Guess what? Nobody gives a damn. Right? Nobody gives a damn. Not your mom, not your dad. They ain't gonna do nothing. The past generation is not gonna do nothing for you. The generation that is in charge of a large portion of the asset classes right now, they're not going to do nothing. The president does not care. The administration does not care. Doesn't matter what the administration gets in, they do not care. And they are not coming to save you. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to tie up your own shoes. You're going to have to tie up your own boots. Right? And for those of you who keep saying, well, I'll just exit myself out of society. Cool beans. You still going to participate. You're still going to participate, and guess what? You're going to like it or love it. Even if you hate it, you're going to like it or love it. You don't get to exit yourself out of the game. That's why I'm so confused when men say that. I'm just gonna exit myself out of society. How? Unless you plan on being homeless, how do you plan on exiting yourself outside of the game? Without no money, without any funds, without anything. Right? Because when you're homeless, you still got to get out here and exert energy. You still got to get out here and go find food, hunt, right? Whether you digging through garbage cans or whether you panhandling, asking other people for money, how are you going to exit yourself out of the system? You still going to need money. You still got to eat. You still need shelter, whether you stand up under a bridge or stand at the sexy inn. Regardless, you're gonna need something. You're gonna need it. So miss me with all that, but men are burnt out. I'm noticing it. I'm seeing it for a variety of different reasons. Politics is burning men out, right? Not being able to be a man is burning men out, right? And so many men are not able to be men because, well, many men lack resources. Right? Many men don't have the space, the environment, right? Western society environment, the environment of Western society doesn't allow masculinity to really exude itself, right? So that's why we have so many feminized men. That's why we have so many limp-wristed men, right? That's why we don't have many purpose-driven men. Because men mentally are exhausted, physically exhausted. And as you can see, I'm naming the issues, right? Because I understand why men are burnt out. I understand why men choose to remove themselves from the system. But at the same time, I'm also here to give you the solution. And the solution is do or die. Point blank, period. Do or die. They're going to make you play the game. That's it. So if you're going to be forced to play the game, then you might as well play it to the best of your ability. Right? Because the only way out of the game, you want to guess? That's the only way out of this game is when you 6 feet under. That is when the game is over. But until then, you got to play this damn game. And if I'm going to play the game, I'm going to play it to win. I'm going to play it to the best of my ability. Listen, I'm hitting 3-pointers from the free throw line. Right? I'm not backing down. I'm taking it straight. I'm taking it straight to the pocket. I'm taking it straight to the paint. There is no exit. There is no exit. Right? That's what you got to understand. There's only one exit, and that's 6 feet. That's 6 feet under. That is it. So until that happens, you might as well gain all the knowledge, gain all the wisdom, right? Make your mistakes early, right? Don't worry about these women. Deal with them on a time-to-time basis and keep it pushing. Right? But so many men don't want to do that. See, and also what's really burning a lot of men out. What's really burning a lot of men out is the inability to achieve and to conquer. I'll explain that. I'm going to repeat that one more time. What's really burning men out is the inability to achieve and conquer. So it's the same with the rat, right? Or the hamster on a hamster wheel, right? And you just put a piece of cheese or you put a piece of meat right there, hang it over his head, knowing that he'll never be able to get that piece of meat, get that piece of cheese, right? What many men are doing, They're on that hamster wheel because guess what? Like I said, they're still running the old programming, so they're still on that hamster wheel, right? They come straight out the gate, come straight out of high school, ready to tackle the world. Not understanding, not knowing that the school system, the public indoctrination camps, they've been training you. You're on 1970s programming, my guy. You're on 1970s programming, right? In a world that is light years ahead now, believe it or not. So you're on 1970s programming, you get out here in the world and it punches you in the face, right? But you young, right? You keep getting punched in the face, boom. You keep getting punched in the face, boom. But you keep getting punched in the face without altering your moves, without altering your defense, without altering your offense. You're not ducking and weaving. You're just getting hit in the face. You're not updating your program. So many men, they get out here young, right? Keep getting hit in the face, boom. 21, keep getting hit in the face, boom. 25, hit in the face. 30, hit in the face. 35, hit in the face, right? Still not figuring it out, right? And you done got hit so many times in the face, by the time you're 25, guess what? You don't even want to do it anymore. You don't want to mess with the women anymore. You don't want to date anymore, right? You don't know what to do about work. You don't know what to do. So you just remove yourself from society, or think you remove yourself from society. You stop participating, right? Why did you stop participating? Well, because your ability to conquer, your ability to achieve has been flatlined. But what if I tell you that you can achieve and you can conquer, but not in the traditional way? You have to do it with the new programming. You have to do it with their own sovereignty. You have to do it without reliance on the traditional system. You have to create your own system. Because guess what? They're getting rid of the old code. They're getting rid of the old rules, as y'all can see. The new things are flying. The old things are dropping. So a lot of men, when they're not winning, and this happens to all of us, right? There's only so much that, only so much endurance a man has to continue. There's only so much endurance a man has. However, consistency beats drive every single time. Consistency beats willpower every single time, right? But you can't do it in an old way. You got to do it in a new way. So when men are not achieving, when men are not winning, when they're losing in mass and not understanding how to get ahead, that flatlines everything. I get it. It flatlines your dopamine. So guess what? Instead of getting that dopamine hit from achievements, from conquering something, from figuring out something, you go and get cheap dopamine hits from pornography, video games, right? Online chat rooms, right? OnlyFans. You go and get those cheap dopamine hits, right? Instead of getting that pure cocaine from Peru or Colombia, right? You go and get that stuff that's stumped on. They done stumped on it, right? They done dropped it in the water. They done added some additives to it, right? You ain't getting that real cocaine. You getting that watered down stuff. So that watered down stuff is destroying your system. It's destroying your ability to go out here and get it. It's tricking your mind into believing that you've earned something that you did not. And that is the state of most men. They don't know how to win. They've been trained to work the old way in a new system. And when they keep going and see that nothing is working for them, well, then they hit game over. And they go into a cocoon. They go into the basement and they do what they do, never to be heard from again. That is why so many men are burnt out. Because the moment a man starts achieving, the moment men start winning, the moment men start getting what they want, the woman that they want, right? The money that they want, the resources that they want, the life that they want. The moment a man starts getting that, then guess what? That dopamine starts flowing. And guess what? That's when the ideas start flowing. That's when a man starts winning more and more. That's why the small wins count. It's not always about the big wins. Right? If you're always focused on the big wins, right? Of course you're going to burn out. But if you focus on those small wins, you focus on rewiring your brain, right? You focus on rewiring your brain so that you can focus on those small wins. Then later alternate that to focus on the big wins, because now you focused on the small wins so much, right? You've rewired yourself so much with the small wins. Now a big win is nothing to you. Now you're hyper-focused, right? Now your endurance on another level. Now you're able to handle drawbacks mentally, emotionally, psychologically, right? Now it's nothing when you get hit in the face. Boom, right? That next punch come, okay, he coming to the right. Boom, duck and weave, right? Boom, right to the rib. Blow the air out of his ass. Pause, wait, whoa. Pause, no diddy, right? Focus on the little wins. Most men are burnt out here. They're burnt out. But this is the perfect time to stand out amongst women, right? In achievement, in all aspects that makes us men. Because if everybody's removing themselves from society, if everybody is quietly quitting life, and you come in and you want to win at life, well, my guy, you got a whole lane open. And that's an after pill. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP is how you should live. Purpose, freedom, and power. Listen, come over to the Patreon and join the family. We're forging minds over there. I'm teaching men how to build a system for themselves. And you get to watch me live do it. You get to watch me live build a system for myself to escape as well. Listen, come over to the Patreon, join the family, join the membership. And let's keep building this and keep building this movement. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here. And I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint. PFP life. A way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life.